Today in this video we will study about muscular tissue. In my previous video I had already explained about connective tissue. So today let us study about muscular tissue. As you all are aware of muscles in your body, it is the muscles which enable us to do different type of movements. We are able to jump, dance, walk due to the presence of muscle in our body. So let us study about muscular tissue. The tissue which is responsible for the movement in our body is known as muscular tissue. It consists of elongated cells called muscle fibers. It contains a special type of proteins called contractile proteins which causes movement of muscles by contraction and relaxation. Now let us study about types of muscles or muscular tissue. First type is striated muscles. Striated muscles are also known as voluntary muscles, striped muscles, or skeletal muscles. The muscles which move or stop as per our will are called striated muscles. These are also called as voluntary muscles as we can move them according to our will. Mostly these are attached to bones and help in body movements. Hence they are also called skeletal muscles. Example muscles of limbs, that is hands and legs. Under microscope, striated muscles show alternate light and dark bands or striations. So students, it is clear to you all that voluntary muscles or striped muscles or striated muscles or skeletal muscles all are same. And now you know the reason why they have been named so. Voluntary muscles because we can move them according to our will. Striped or striated muscles because light and dark bands are present in them. And skeletal muscles because these muscles are attached to the bones, and that is why we are able to move them according to our will, according to our choice. Cells constituting these muscles are long, cylindrical, unbranched, and multinucleated. Students, we have to remember this. The shape of the cells as well as the number of nucleus present in each cell. So in case of striated muscles, the cells are long, they are cylindrical, they are unbranched, and they are multinucleated, meaning thereby many nucleus are present in a single cell. Now let us study about unstriated muscles. The muscles which we cannot move as per our will are called unstriated or smooth muscles. These are also called involuntary muscles. Example muscles of alimentary canal, blood vessels, iris of eye, muscles in ureters and in bronchi of lungs. The cells constituting these muscles are long with pointed ends. That is, they are spindle shaped and uninucleated. These muscles do not show any dark or light band, so they are called as unstriated muscles. So students, unstriated muscles are also known as involuntary muscles, unstriped muscles, or smooth muscles. And now you know the reason why they are called so. They are called unstriped or unstriated because there are no light or dark bands present in them. And since there are no bands, they look smooth, so they are also known as smooth muscles. And now you have to remember that the cells which constitute involuntary muscles are long with pointed ends, meaning thereby they taper towards the end and the shape is known as spindle shaped. And one more important point, that they are uninucleated, meaning thereby only a single nucleus is present in a single cell. Now let us study about cardiac muscles. These are involuntary muscles present only in our heart. They perform rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout the life. The cells constituting cardiac muscles are cylindrical, branched, and uninucleated. They contain faint bands. So students, as the name suggests, cardiac means related to heart. So cardiac muscles are those muscles which are present in our heart and they are involuntary. And what is their function? They perform rhythmic contraction and relaxation. And what about their cells? The cells are cylindrical, branched and uninucleated, and they also contain very light colored bands, that is faint bands. Now let us study about the next tissue, that is the nervous tissue. The tissue which is highly specialized for being stimulated and then transmitting the stimulus very rapidly from one place to another within the body are known as nervous tissue. The cells that constitute nervous tissue are known as nerve cells or neurons. Brain, spinal cord, and nerves are composed of nervous tissue or neurons. Students, you all know that the body obeys the mind. Whatever we think, whatever our brain orders, our body performs. And how does this happen? This happens due to the presence of nervous tissue in our body. So the brain, spinal cord, and nerves all are composed of this tissue. Now let us study about their structure. An individual nerve cell or neuron is composed of three major parts, that is the cell body, axon, and dendrites. Cell body. It consists of cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell membrane. You can see in the diagram also, students, the broad part that is present in the anterior region, that is the cell body, and it is constituted by cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell membrane. Now, the rod-like part is axon. It is a single long conducting fiber extending from neuron. It transmits impulse away from the cell body. Students, you have to remember that, as I have already told, that a neuron consists of three parts. First one is the cell body. The central part you can see in the diagram, it consists of cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell membrane. Second part, just below the cell body, is axon. And what is its structure? It is a conducting fiber. It is long fiber-like, okay? And what is its function? It transmits impulse away from the cell body, okay? Now the third part is dendrite. You can see in the diagram, short branches are emerging out from the cell body, and that is dendrites. These are short branch fibers of neurons which receive nerve impulses. So students, axon transmits impulse away from the cell body, whereas what is the work of dendrite? They receive nerve impulses, okay? A neuron may be up to 1 meter long. Many nerve fibers bond together by a connective tissue make up a nerve. Now synapse. Synapse is a region of union of axon of one neuron with the dendrite of next. This allows the transfer of nerve impulse generated to and fro in the body. Meaning thereby, what is synapse? Synapse is the region where one axon of one neuron combines with the dendrite of the next, and they make a chain-like structure so that the impulses may be transmitted from one neuron to another, and the impulses generated in our body can be transmitted both to and fro, okay, in our body. And in the diagram you can see, in this diagram you can clearly see dendrites are present, then Nissl granules are present, then there is nucleus, there is cell body, and a special type of cell known as Schwann cells are present, and this cylindrical long structure is known as axon, and it is covered by myelin sheaths, nodes of Ranvier, meaning thereby the node-like structure are named as nodes of Ranvier, and then axon terminal is there, and there is synaptic knob. From this knob, dendrite of another neuron is attached. So this junction, this region where the union of axon of one neuron occurs with the dendrite of the next is known as synapse. Okay, students? Combination of nerve and muscle tissue in animals is of fundamental importance as it causes rapid movement in response to stimuli. So students, this is all about nervous tissue. It is the nervous tissue due to which the body obeys our mind and all the decision which our brain takes is executed. Hope students, you understood all the topics very nicely. You understood muscular tissue as well as nervous tissue. If this video helped you in increasing your understanding about this topic, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.